Welcome back to myself. Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, I hope everybody had a beautiful, inspirational, transformational Chag Pesach. And the idea of Pesach really is that we're not the same people when we leave Pesach as when we come in. I want to share with you a beautiful idea from the Sefer Ma'ayan Bet HaShoeva, from the late Rav Shimon Schwab Zatzal. Pasuk says, "May in Shir Hashirim, Ma yafu pa'amayich bat nadiv." How beautiful are the shoes of the princess? How beautiful are the shoes of the princess? Now, what is it referring to? We know that in Shir Hashirim, everything is allegorical. Everything in Shir Hashirim is sort of meant al derech remez, to reflect the relationship between the Jewish people and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But what is this relationship? What is this description over here of Ma yafu pa'amayich ba'na'alim bat nadiv? What is this reference to the princess's shoes? What does that have to do with anything? So Rashi explains on Shir Hashirim that it refers to the Jewish people when they come to visit the Beit HaMikdash and make Aliyah Laregel. 3 times a year when every Jewish person is allowed and required to come to see the Beit HaMikdash, see and be seen. So when you go into Beit HaMikdash, you're not allowed to wear shoes. So the Pasuk is saying, how beautiful is this tremendous collection of shoes which accumulates outside the Beit HaMikdash when all of Klal Yisrael come to visit the Beit HaMikdash 3 times a year for Aliyah Laregel. That's Rashi. That's the reference, how beautiful an occasion it is when the Jewish people come to do the mitzvah of coming to the Beit HaMikdash to visit our Father in Shemaim, to visit HaKadosh Baruch Hu. However, Rav Schwab Zatzal, he asked a very interesting question. He says, of all things to reflect that occasion of visiting the Beit HaMikdash, making Aliyah Laregel, the shoes are the least appropriate thing, because the shoes are not even allowed in the Beit HaMikdash. So why is it that we're referring to the shoes of the Jewish people, which they are not even allowed to bring into the Beit HaMikdash? Why is that the metaphor? Why is that the symbol of the Aliyah Laregel, when the shoes themselves cannot even come into the mitzvah of Aliyah Laregel, mitzvah of Aliyah Laregel? So Rav Schwab says a beautiful idea. He says, you know what the shoes are? You know what the Jewish people are being praised with here in Shir Hashirim? We're being praised with not how we come to the Regel, but how we put on our shoes when we go back from the Regel. That when the Jewish people come to the Beit HaMikdash and they see the Kohanim ba'avodatam, and they see the Lishkat HaGazit, they see the Sanhedrin, the greatest Chachmei Yisrael involved in Limud HaTorah, that changes the people. That changes a person. You're not the same when you go back home as when you came. And therefore, Shir Hashirim tells us, that she's explaining, Ma yafu pa'amayich ba'na'alim bat nadiv. How beautiful are the shoes of the Jewish people, not when we come to do the mitzvah of Aliyah Laregel, but rather when we go home from the Beit HaMikdash, when we go home from the Chag. The inspiration that we take with us, that comes back home with us after the Chag, that changes us. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is praising Jewish people. He's saying in Shir Hashirim that you Jewish people are such an inspirational people. You're so ready to be inspired and to change yourselves and to grow, that's what I'm praising you with. How you put on your shoes when you go back home. Bezrat Hashem, as we embark in the Sfirat HaOmer, we're going to start the halachot. There's basically 3 different parts of Sfirat HaOmer that we want to talk about. Number 1, the actual mitzvah Korban HaOmer, that we're doing a zecher of that in the Beit HaMikdash. When we say the Harachaman at the end of the Sfirat HaOmer, we say Harachaman hu yivnei Beit HaMikdash. Why are we making a reference to the Beit HaMikdash? The answer is, according to most Rishonim, the Sfirat HaOmer that we have nowadays is not midoraita, it's only a remembrance of the Korban that occurred in the Beit HaMikdash. So Bezrat Hashem, tomorrow we'll read the Seder of the Korban HaOmer in the Rambam. Then there, of course, is the Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. There's the Korban HaOmer, then there's the counting of the Omer, which we'll discuss. And then finally, of course, at the same time as that's going on, we have the Avelut over the death of the students of Rabbi Akiva, which therefore we have the Minhag of Avelut during the first part of the Sfirat HaOmer itself. But mainly to remember that the days of Sfirat HaOmer are days of Aliyah. There are days, each day with its own number, each day with its own mission, each day with its own opportunity. And in that way we'll be Zocheh B'ezrat Hashem to deserve this blessing of HaKadosh Baruch Hu of Ma yafu pa'amayich ba'na'alim bat nadiv. How beautiful are our shoes as we go away from the Chag.